Chatting with Caledonia coach Carl Fruechte last week. They made the trip up to Chatfield, and the Gophers got the Warriors 19-6. And coach, you talked about it last week. It was going to be a tough challenge, and obviously it was for your team. Moving forward, what were the lessons from last Friday night that you need to learn moving forward to be as successful as you can this season?
Well, first of all, yeah, it was a good game. Wasn't a great game, right? Because we didn't win, but it was a great. Just old school high school football. So, I mean, from that aspect, it was really fun. This is going to sound weird, Darren, but I think, high school kids get so jacked up for a game, right? And we want that. But I think in between plays or when you're out on the field, I think we got to be able to decompress, calm down, and understand their assignment. I thought our effort and attitude was great. I thought we brought it every play, but we missed some things, and I think a lot of it was because we were almost too overhyped, if that makes sense. And we just got to calm that inner self down and just relax and say, "Hey, I got to defeat my man this way." But you only get better at that, Darren, by being in those situations, and you try to replicate that in practice, but of course that's hard, and it's hard on my voice and things like that. But I'd like to see us do a better job on that. I believe we will.
And where is that happy medium of, shall we say, controlled enthusiasm?
Yeah, good wordage. I like that, Darren. Yeah, and I'll be honest, in today's society, I don't know what gets kids excited sometimes. We talk about that. And so it was, it's great. Our kids are into it, but in the same token, yeah, it's a fine line. And I think it's different for everybody too, right? Some guys can be all, really whacked and jacked up and ready to go, but they can still make plays, and other people can't. So each young man has to find that place.
Well, I look at your defensive performance last week. You held Chatfield to 19 points. Coming into that game, their previous low was 35 on the season. Were you happy with how your defense performed?
Yeah, overall we were. There's a couple plays that we knew better and we didn't adjust. And again, football has changed so much, Darren, since you and I played, right? I mean, it's not you're stuck in this gap or you got to call this play. We've allowed audibling since I took over. I always tell our quarterbacks when we go through it, get us out of a bad play. We do the same on defense and the same on special teams. And we got caught where our kids were like, then Saturday morning and Monday, we talked about it. Hey guys, you got to recognize on the run. We got to do this, we got to do that. And again, that's why you play these games, getting ready for the tournament. And I believe that we're going to do a better job the next time we get in that situation.
Me, I like looking at the yards per rush statistic. Chatfield held you to 1.9 yards per rush. What were they doing to slow that end of things down? What do you guys need to do better going forward, specifically related to that?
Well, they I'm going to call it a 3-3. It's a lot of blitzing, 3-3, 3-4, whatever you want to call it. They do a very good job. They got very good athletes. In my humble opinion, we just got to attack it better and pick it up better. No, that's easier said than done because they have some pretty good dudes over there. But we shot ourselves in the foot a couple times. Again, we got to communicate better on the offensive line. And again, they deserve the credit, right? It's they did a nice job, but yeah, we got to change a few things, do a few things better, and communicate even more.
And does a loss like last week in a big game like that, you guys have responded usually pretty well after those losses. In your conversation with guys on Saturday and then again on Monday, how hungry are your guys after last Friday night?
I see a lot of desire. I see a lot. I think the surprising thing, Darren, and I'm just going to be honest, is I'm surprised by all the, I mean this very humbly, the success that we've had, how we've lost confidence. And I guess it's just young people nowadays, right? And maybe it's people in general. But we've always had a lot of confidence as a coaching staff in our kids. We still continue to. And I think now they see, okay, that's a great program over there, and we're a great program. And like I said, we have quite a few good programs in this section. And I think the light bulb is going on, like, okay, all right, we are there. We are there. And that's part of, again, the growing up process. Now, again, we got to be humble, got to stay hungry, can't look past anybody. We just got to be businesslike. So, it's exciting to see, where they take this.
And this week, again, another opportunity to play a football game as you head over to St. Charles this week. What are you expecting out of the Saints?
Well, we have a lot of respect for Matt Reinhardt. I coached against his dad. We think Matt does a great job. He's a very good, he's a great human being. I remember Matt when he played at Rushford, just a super person. We have a lot of respect for St. Charles. They run that Veer offense. He runs it just like his dad. And, if you know anything about the Veer, if you miss a gap, they're going to be gone for 80 yards. So it's assignment football, and we just have a lot of respect for him, Darren. And we want to make sure that we take care of our gaps. And defensively, again, I know I sound like a broken record, but we got to get off the ball, get a push for 3, 4, 4.5 yards, and be able to execute.
And facing a Veer offense like you are this week, how important are the early downs in a defensive series? Because if you can get a team like that off schedule, it usually leads to success, correct?
Right. Yeah, it's right. Just like Vince Lombardi said, right? 3.5, 3.5, 3.5. Right. So we gotta get them, behind the sticks and keep them under 3.5, obviously, and get it 3rd and long and force them to do things they don't want to do. But again, that's we're dealing with high school boys, and hopefully their attention span is a little bit longer than that 7 seconds.
And since it's an offense you don't see very often, how much difference is your defensive prep this week?
Well, yeah, and you got to really, the next couple of weeks, especially, you got to really coach up your scout offense.
Yeah.
Here's what you got to do on tape. Here's what you got to see on tape, and you got to do it, mimic it the best that you can. So, they'll be like, "You leave this guy? Yep, you leave this guy, and this is his read." And but yeah, I mean, and of course, your varsity defense, in my humble opinion, has to be able to help us coach the scout O and say, "Hey, no, you're going to leave me on this play, or you're going to block me on this play," so that there's some real mature interaction between the groups.
All right, Coach, hopefully you can get back on the winning track this Friday night. Keep your guys healthy. We wish you best of luck.
Thank you, Darren. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Carl Fruechte, head coach of the Caledonia Warriors.